All right, folks, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our Working with Investors course. We have an interesting course for you guys today. We're going to cover a lot of topics here when we're working with an investor who's looking to buy an investment property. My name is Robert, of course, with Elite Ocean View Realty, and I want to thank everyone for joining us. We are recording our session, and as always, you guys will have a copy of our recording from inside of our YouTube channel. Those of you that don't know the YouTube channel, this is it right here. It's got my name on it, and it's got all of our elite recordings. I'm going to go ahead and share this link with you inside the chat in the event that you guys want to rewatch this training a little later today or at any time. All right, so look inside your chat. I am going to drop the link right now to the YouTube channel. All right, guys, so we are, of course, going to be using the MLS. We're going to search for properties. We're going to teach you how to find those investment properties. We're also going to teach you a little bit about the auction websites. So public auction websites, Miami-Dade County website, and also other websites like auction.com or maybe hubzoo.com where public auctions are held. All right, so as realtors, of course, when we're working with a buyer, we need the exclusive buyer broker agreement. Even though they're investors, they're still buyers, they're still your clients. So make sure that we have the exclusive buyer broker agreement already signed by our buyer before we start showing property. Guys, if you don't know how to fill out a buyer broker agreement, please refer to the class that's already recorded inside of our YouTube channel, where we discuss the buyer broker agreement, also where we discuss all the compensation agreements. All right, so today we are going to use the MLS. We're also going to use IMAP. We're going to use RPR. We're going to use a variety of systems. We're also going to learn how to find properties that are available for sale for a quick flip. You know, those purchase the property that's run down and you want to remodel the home and maybe flip it for a profit. There aren't many out there. However, we're going to try and find some. And then we're going to locate properties that are for rental income, you know, whether it's your duplex, your triplex, your fourplex, or even larger. And we're going to learn how to analyze the potential returns on the investment. And that we're going to use RPR to get that done. All right, so let's go ahead and get logged into Matrix because we are going to begin by searching for properties that are perhaps needs a little tender loving care, right? TLC, or perhaps the property is in foreclosure and you are, going to purchase the property with intentions to remodel the home and then sell it at a higher price. All right, so we are going to perform a single family home search. All right, we're going to perform a single family home search in the MLS. And the first thing I want to do is I want to show you how to search for foreclosures. It's very simple, guys. There aren't many foreclosures in the market today. All right, but you can still try and take advantage of it. And the way that you do this is by selecting REO, right? You're going to go ahead and come over here. And if you don't have REO in your additional fields, you want to go ahead and add it. You want to click on add remove, go ahead and add REO. And the answer is going to be yes. Now, REO stands for real estate owned. Also, another term for REO is bank owned. So any foreclosed properties that are property of the bank, that's what we're searching for. All right. So here we have a total of 73 single family homes for sale in Southeast Florida that are bank owned. Once upon a time, guys, that number was well over 200 homes. That's not the case anymore. We're looking at only 73. If I select Miami-Dade County, we're going to be down to 18 matches. Okay, so let's go ahead and try 18 matches. We're not going to enter prices. We're not going to enter any criteria because then we're going to get a lot less results, right? So let's just go ahead and try and take a look at the 18 results. So the least expensive REO right now on the market is $460,000. All right. Once upon a time, guys, you could get an REO for less than $200,000. All right. You could get a single family home probably for less than $200,000. prices are just through the roof, right? Prices are very high. And here we're looking at a property in Hialeah that is a rather large property. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,200 square foot home, and it's listed for 460. So my intentions are to show you how to analyze this property and see if it's a good potential for your investor to purchase, remodel the home, and flip for a profit. All right. So naturally, the first thing I want to do is I want to take a look at the pictures of the home. Now, guys, mind you, some of these foreclosures need major renovations, some don't. Some need, your cosmetic work. So pictures are not going to tell the whole story. Of course, you want to pay a visit to the home, see if the home foundation is intact, see if the roof is intact, things of that nature. So pictures alone, it looks like a regular, fixer upper, right? So that's what we get from our pictures. Now we're going to scroll down and we're going to read some of the remarks. This is a HUD case. All right. So you'll see here, HUD case is a single family home centrally located, near highways and whatnot. So right here it says properties insurable with escrow, equity housing opportunity, submit all offers. And then also you may refer to HUDhomestore.gov. All right, so what does that mean? It's a HUD case. It was a Fannie Mae foreclosure. All right, so it was a Fannie Mae foreclosure, pretty much FHA, and it foreclosed. All right. So here we're looking at this property being on the market now 27 days. It is, of course, vacant. And here is the realtor who's listing the property. My next step is to truly check the property history. So up here, you're going to see property history, and you're going to see that this property came on the market back in 2023 and went pending and went back on active and went pending and then back on active. So as you guys can see, folks, this property has not been on the market for just 30 days. It's been on the market for a year now, right? Going back to last August. So it's been on the market now for a year. It was under contract twice. It fell through twice. And they haven't lowered their price. It's been 460 ever since last year. All right, so keep that in mind when you're getting ready to prepare an offer. We're going to go ahead and click on listing here and take you back to the listing. And this is a lot size of 6,000 square feet. So it's a 6,000 square foot lot with a 2,200 square foot home. All right, so it's a nice size. What we want to do is maybe check the comparables using IMAP. IMAP is one of my favorite tools, and it's this little eye right here. It's going to allow us to run a valuation, a quick valuation on the property, see what the comps are looking like around this area. So we're going to go ahead and open this in a new link here or a new window, and we're going to use IMAP right now. Now you'll see here, it is a HUD home, right? So current owner, it's not a person, but it's HUD. Or you'll see bank, right? Now, guys, look at the sales information history. It tells you a story. So whenever you see certificate of title or certificate of transfer, that's an indication that this was a foreclosure. And the foreclosure took place back in 2022. All right. The deed was corrected, and it was corrected here, and you see the price of 380. So they're asking 460. The foreclosure took place for 380. Now, IMAP is always going to give you, this is a new feature of IMAP. It's going to give you the estimated current value, which is right now at just under $540,000. Keep in mind the property is listed for 460. Now, that's not the true value. We want to try and run some comps on IMAP to see what the true value is based on the market. And we're going to do this by selecting find comparables on the right-hand side. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try and find comps within a half mile sold within the last 6 months and that have a difference of only 20% in living area and a difference of only 20% in lot area. All right, so by doing this, we're going to go ahead and click on update criteria, and we are pulling one comparable. See that right there? One comp right down the street. That one comp makes our property or gives our property a value of $650,000. All right, so based on price per square foot, that's what this means. Estimated range based on price per square foot, we're looking at an estimated value of $650,000. Again, the property is for sale at $460,000. All right. Now I'm gonna try and search in 1 mile, see if we have any other results. We're gonna click on update criteria and see if we picked up any other results. We did. We picked up one more, and it is an improvement. It's not. It's a little over half a mile. Notice this gray radius right here. This gray radius is half a mile. This red radius at the the outer banks here, that's 1 mile. So it's just above half mile, and that one is going to now increase the value of my home to 724,000 with a low of 650 and a high of 797. So you see, we're finding comps that actually indicate that if we purchase this property at 460 and we renovate the property and we make it, top conditions, top, sellings conditions, we may be able to sell it for 700, 720, 750, who knows, So we're going to analyze this property. All right. Now, of course, this is a training. This is a 1 hour training. I don't want to waste your time going through an entire list of properties. You guys are going to go through the properties. You're going to go to Broward County. You're going to search Palm Beach. You're going to find the right investment property for your client. All right. So I am going to stop right here, and I'm going to now further analyze this property for its investment potential. And we're going to do this by selecting RPR. Where can we find RPR in the MLS? You see right here, RPR. That's that little logo, that little 4-colored logo. We're going to go ahead and select RPR, and it's going to open up this property inside of RPR. All right. Now, I do still have IMAP open, right? I still have IMAP open. Let me ask you a question. Do you guys know what the little R next to each comparable means? Does anyone in class know what those mean? All right. Those mean that the properties were sold inside the MLS. So the fact that we can actually take a look at the conditions of the homes, right, is important. So if I come over here and I select this R, all right, this is the home that's sold, and it's giving me top value for the home. All right, these homes right here. So I can actually check out the pictures, or I can even open the MLS listing, right? We can even come over here and we can open up this MLS listing number right here, and we can see the conditions of the home. But you're seeing the photos here, okay? So further investigate your comps and seeing what conditions. As you can see, those are the conditions of the home. It's not like it was remodeled, tastefully remodeled. It was just remodeled, and it's sold at top dollar. At what price did it sell? It sold at $665,000, and it's a smaller home. It's an 1,839 square foot home. It sold at $361 a square foot. Well, guess what? $361 a square foot times my 2,206 square feet gives me a price of $797. All right. And then the $294 a square foot times the subject property gives me a price of $650. The average between both gives me $724. So let's just use $724 as our potential sales price, right? So we have RPR open. You're going to scroll down and you're going to find a program on the right-hand side under additional resources called Valuate. Can everyone see it here? Right? We're going to go ahead and find this program, and we're going to select Valuate. It's going to open this window, and you are going to click on Continue. Right? We're going to click on Continue, and we're going to now valuate or try and find a valuation for the investment returns. Now, if you get this window, guys, it's because Valuate only allows you to work on 5 files at the same time. See here, ability to store up to 5 files at any time. So we don't want to pay for an upgrade. We're just going to click here at the bottom. If you do not want to upgrade, click here. We are going to only select the property we're using today, this one here. All right, and this happened to me because I use Valuate, and as you can see, I've studied other properties before. So I'm going to click on just the one property that we are selecting today, September 17th, and then click on Submit. All right, so there are two different investment scenarios inside of Evaluate. One is flip, the other one is long-term hold. Long-term hold, of course, is if you're buying a rental income property and you want to see what the investment returns will be. We are going to study that, but a little later in class. Right now, we're going to click on flip. All right, our intentions are to buy this property and flip it for a profit. All right, so the fact is the property has been on the market now for a year, and they have failed to sell it at 460. So let's go ahead and offer them a cash offer of $400,000. All right, let's go ahead and offer them a cash offer of $400,000 with no contingencies, meaning no inspection, no appraisal. We're going to buy it, we're going to fix it, and we're going to turn it for a profit. So $400,000, no contingencies. How much will it cost to operate or hold this property for a full year? Our intentions are not to hold the property for a full year, but the system requires you to enter the numbers in order for us to figure out the expenses. So if I refer back to IMAP and I go ahead and I click on property tax, the taxes last year, right? The taxes last year for this property were $7,400. So we're going to pick up our calculator and we're going to start adding taxes, 7,400. Okay. Now, how much is insurance going to cost you in a home like this? Let's say insurance is going to cost me another $5,000. So now we're at 12,000, right? So another $5,000, we're at 12,400. And let's say running utilities, electricity and running water combined costs me $300 a month. So that's another $3,600. So now we're at a total of $16,000 in expenses. That's what we're going to enter here. Full year holding costs, $16,000. And that's a combined taxes, insurance, and utilities. All right. Now, when do we want to purchase this home? We're going to purchase this home October 1st. October 1st. And then right here, we're going to enter how long do we expect to hold on to this property? So we're going to say 6 months. So half a year. All right. From the time that we close the property, remodel the property, place it back on the market and sell it, it's going to take us 6 months to do so. Now, are you going to obtain a loan to get this done? Most investors are going to obtain what's called a hard money loan, not a conventional, and definitely not an FHA. So it must be some type of hard money lender who's going to loan you a percentage of the purchase price for a bit higher interest rate, but it's a short-term loan. So most hard money lenders may loan you up to 80%. That means that the investor themselves needs to put up 20% of their own cash. And the interest rate is definitely going to be a lot higher. So we're going to put 11% interest rate on a hard money loan. All right. Number of equity players, how many partners are involved? 1, 2, or 3. Let's keep it at one person making this investment, and then we're going to go ahead and click on submit. All right, next up, we're going to go here to where it says purchase and sale at the very top. We're going to go to purchase and sale, and for renovation budget, we're going to enter how much we expect to spend to renovate this property. Now, there are several of you in my training, and I do want to hear opinions. What do you guys think? How much is needed to renovate this property? Perhaps you don't know the Hialeah area. Perhaps you don't want to over improve, but just taking a look at the pictures, what do you guys think?
Over 100,000.
100,000? 100,000 will probably 100,000,
100K.
it's an excellent guess. It's an excellent estimate. 100,000 will probably leave this property as the best property in the entire.
No. 100K.
Yeah, that's what you said. 100K.
150?
No, that's too much. That's too much.
Less?
Yeah, let's go with
80?
100,000. Let's go with 100,000. I'm saying that $100,000, maybe you don't have experience in remodeling homes, guys, but 100K is most definitely going to buy you a new roof, right? It's gonna buy you a new roof, it's gonna buy you new windows, and it's gonna let you cosmetically change the entire appearance of the house in the inside and the outside. All right. So I think that 100,000 is a good guess. All right. So we'll leave it at 100,000. What is the closing cost? So what's the closing cost on a $400,000 sale? Now, when you're financing, the closing cost is higher, but we are using a hard money lender. So it's almost like if it were cash. So it's going to be a little lower. Let's go with 2% of $400,000. All right, so we are going to use that math, right? So 2% of $400,000 is $8,000. Those are just estimates, guys. I put in an estimate there. It could be higher, it could be lower. All right. Now, let's go over here to where it says gross sales price. Notice how it says holding period 6 months, gross valuation sales price $600,000. However, what did IMAP tell us? Right? We're going to come here and we're going to, again, find comparables. Right? We're going to find comparables. And within 1 mile during the last 6 months, and we have these 4 comps, right? Let's say we get rid of this guy right here at $380,000. Let's get rid of that one. So we're between 650 and 797 with an average of 702. Okay? Now, you remember we used these two here? Look at number 2 over here. Let's say we get rid of number 2 because maybe it was in bad conditions. You get rid of that one, now you're at 724. All right? So going back over here, we expect to sell our home, let's just say 700,000. Let's not go too high. $700,000. All right, guys? So we've plugged in all the numbers, and this is our results. We are left with a profit margin if you pay all in cash of 26.2% in a 6-month turnaround. We are left with a profit margin if we use a hard money lender of 23.1%. In other words, if the investor does the entire project paid in cash, they will profit $184,000 at the end of the project. If the investor uses a hard money lender, they will profit $161,668, and all they had to do was pay 20% of the 400K. All right, does that make sense to you guys? Does 23% return in a 6-month period make sense to you guys? I mean, to me it does, right?
Very much.
Anything over 15% in today's market is great. So here we're looking at a property that, based on our study, is a good idea. Now, I do want to check one more thing. We're going to go back to Matrix. We're going to go back to Matrix. We're going to see what properties in this area are currently actively selling for. Not sold, but let's see what the actives are looking at. So the address is 765 East 6th Place. So we're going to go ahead and run a new search, and we're going to do 1 mile from 765 East, and the address is, I forgot already, 6th Place. All right, so East 6th Place. And there it is, okay? We got it. We're going to do active. We're going to do single family home. And let's make our property square footage be somewhat similar. So between, let's say, 1,800 square feet and 2,600 square feet. we're looking at 6 matches. Properties that size in this area are going right around 700, 730, and forget about this one that's in Miami Springs. All right, so that's a little too far. But this is what a $730,000 active list price looks like in the area. It's not remodeled. It's not remodeled at all. So let's look at the one for $700,000. This is a two-story single family home. Again, not really remodeled. And they're asking what we plan to ask after remodeling our home. All right. So I think that this is a great opportunity, right? The one that we were looking at. It's a great opportunity for our investors to purchase and perhaps make a good deal on it. Here it is, guys. All right, so it's 765 E6 Place. The MLS number is A114-33643. So those of you that have investors looking for a good potential home to purchase and flip, this is a good one. So as I mentioned at the beginning, you're going to go through the entire list of results looking for the best possible case scenario. When you're working with an investor, you don't just run a search on the MLS and send them results. You actually want to go through this entire study that we just went through to try and figure out which is the best possible case scenario for them. Okay. Now let's talk about auction websites, because this search that I did right on the MLS pulled foreclosed homes, right? Or foreclosure homes, right? REO. Now, properties that are in auction are also potential. They'll also give us potential to buy a property way below the market value. Now, there is several auction websites. The first one I'm going to show you is Miami-Dade County's auction website, and that's miamidade.realforeclose.com. Take a screenshot of this. All right, miamidade.realforeclose.com, or simply just go to Google and put in Miami-Dade County property auctions. All right, it's going to get you to this website. Now, as a realtor representing your investor, you're going to guide them. You're not going to enter and register yourself. You're not going to be placing the bidding. You're going to guide them. Once you actually find the property, then you're going to assist them with the contracts and everything else. Okay. This is one place where you can go to the auction calendar and you can see what is up for auction in Miami-Dade County. Notice Thursdays are reserved for tax deed sales. So when a tax lien is for sale, you'll find it on Thursdays. And then all the other days are regular auction days. If you have any questions on how this works or does it work, let's just go ahead and check what happened on Tuesday, September 3rd. Bidder walked away, canceled for bankruptcy, canceled per order. The plaintiff won the bid at 172,100. A third-party bidder, or in other case, an investor, won this bidding at 500,100. Can you guys tell me why there always seems to be a 100 as the ending price, or in increments of 100? I think I just told you increments, right? So when you are bidding in a website like this, your increments increase by $100. So if you're in competition against other investors, your next bid is always going to be $100 more. All right, so that's why you see prices like 203, 300, not just 203 flat. So it's always going to have some type of pricing like this. Third party bidder won this one, 214,100. All right. So that's one website, guys. We've all heard of auction.com. This is another website that you guys can find really great opportunities. There's also Hubzu, HUBZU.com. That's another website that you guys can go in and try and find great properties. And then there is XOME.com. These are all auction websites. They tell you the date of the auction, and highest and best bid is obviously going to win the auction. All right. So these are all really great opportunities. These are not, in most cases, these properties are not on the MLS. In some cases they are, but in most cases they're not on the MLS. You are going to be purchasing these properties sight unseen. Now, guys, when you are looking at investment properties and you guys want to maybe check if there's any type of liens on the property and or open permits on a property, of course, during the purchase of the property, the title company is going to order a lien search, right? But what if you wanted to maybe research yourself prior to making a decision like this? There's this company here that offers fast and accurate title searches for about $55. And it's easytitlesearch.com. Because I'll tell you, if you contact a title company and you ask to run a lien search on a project, they're probably going to charge you $200-300, right? So easy title search, if you come here, pricing, all right, you can get one report for $55, and it's an effective title search. All right, so I'm checking the chat here. Can you and there's a question in the chat. Robert, can you do the same but with an investment property that the owner will keep for a rental? Yes, that's my next step, guys. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to run this for an investment property. All right, give me 1 second, folks. Sorry about that. If you guys can please remain on mute. Maybe you weren't realizing that you were unmuted, but I just went ahead and muted everyone, okay? And if you have any questions and you'd like to speak up, of course, you can unmute yourself. All right, guys. So easy title search. It should be like one of your resources, you know? This is a great way and to check to see if there's any liens on a property or any open permits on a property. And you don't have to rely on a title company to get it done. And you definitely do not have to pay $200-300 for it. All right. All right, so let's go back to Matrix, guys. There's so many ways for us to search for undervalued properties. Of course, that was just one of them. Now, let's switch gears. For those of us looking for rental income properties, of course, you got condominiums. Everyone here knows how to search for condos, right? Everyone here knows how to search for condos. It's a regular condo search. Now, most of you ask, how can we search for condos that allow daily rentals? All right. So here's my tip for you. Inside of your additional fields, you want to add an additional field called restrictions, right? You want to add an additional field called restrictions. Now here, you're going to find different restrictions. There's one here called daily rentals allowed. So if the realtor who listed the property tells you that daily rentals are allowed, it must be that they confirmed this already. So now we are left with 1,075 properties where daily rentals are allowed. And of course, those are like Verbo and Airbnb kind of deals, right? And then I come here and I say zip code 33139, which is South Beach. We're at 81 properties. So perhaps there are more properties than just these. But these are the ones that the realtor has already indicated to us that daily rentals are allowed. So if we are absolutely in search of that right property where we can buy and rent out daily, then these are it right here. Okay, these are it right there. Now I'm going to go back to criteria and we're going to go back to the additional fields. So that was daily rental. What if we're not interested in daily rental, but we're interested in leasing the property right away? All right, so there is a restriction here called okay to lease, right? Okay to lease. And then there's another one here called okay to lease first year. All right, okay to lease first year. I don't see it. There it is. Okay to lease first year. What does that mean, guys? Sometimes you have to live in the property 1-2 years before you can start leasing the property. Not these. okay to lease first year is going to result to properties that you can purchase right away and lease them right away. Okay, so we got 679 condos in zip code 33139 that are okay to lease right away. Then, of course, you got to enter some criteria, prices, and go search for them. Okay. Now, what if you guys are looking for multifamily? Well, here I have residential multifamily or RIN. These are your duplex, your triplex, and your fourplex. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that one. And we are going to now try and run a simulation, right, of a duplex scenario. So we're going to look for a duplex and we're going to search for this duplex in Miami-Dade County. And we're going to search for this duplex in the city of, not the city. I'm going to go with a zip code. I'm going to go with zip code 33145. All right, so zip code 33145, click on results. So these are my duplexes currently for sale in zip code 33145. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just select the first one. It's the one here, and it's listed for $649,000. Only one picture. The reason there's one picture is maybe the tenants in the property did not allow the listing agent to take pictures. All right, it's quite possible. Now you're gonna scroll down and you're gonna see that duplex 1 on each side rented at 2,000. Also investor special, seller motivated. All right, so I have to imagine what they mean by this is that each side of the duplex is rented for $2,000. I cannot imagine the entire duplex, both units rented for a total of 2,000. So they're telling us here is that each unit or each duplex unit is rented at 2,000. Of course, giving that a total of $4,000 a month. All right. I'm gonna go to the next one. And we're gonna see this one here, and this one has 1,450 on one, and then the other one is 0. Guys, we love to see realtors tell us what these properties are rented at. Also, you can always go down here and you can see any income and expense information, or maybe check attachments. Otherwise, you're gonna end up having to call the agent. All right, I'm gonna go to the next one. This one here, all right, has exactly what we were looking for. So this actually is not a duplex. So unfortunately, they listed it incorrectly. This is a fourplex, right? I mean, it's got 4 income. All right, and then down here in the financial information, it's 0. So let's go ahead and run an example off of this property. Okay. So this property is for sale at $950,000. Again, one picture. I just don't see this being a 4-unit property. It probably has all types of illegal efficiencies all over the place. All right, but this property gives you a total income, and I'm going to pick up here 1,900 plus 1,050 plus 1,100 plus 1,100 of 5,150 per month. Multiplied times 12, you're looking at 61,800. Guys, is 61,800 anywhere close to being 10% of 950? Someone give me an answer. Is it? It isn't, right? I mean, you need $95,000 to be at 10% of 950,000. So the chances of this property right here resulting in positive cash flow and positive returns is very slim. But I want to show it to you anyways. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and click on RPR. Does that make sense, guys? If you're looking at properties and the total monthly income, right, or the total yearly income does not even approach 10% in gross value of the purchase price, then how can you expect it to net you anywhere close to 5%? So let's take a look. We're gonna come here, we're gonna select Valuate, and we're gonna click on Continue. Now, this is a multifamily, so right away the system recognizes that this is a multifamily 4 units. Potential rent. Potential rent, we discussed that it's $51,000 is your yearly income on this property. Now, are we purchasing this for $950? Is that an inflated price? Let's try and take a look. Let's click on IMAP. Let's open up IMAP and let's see what IMAP tells us. All right. So IMAP is telling us, of course, this property is 900,000. So, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. All right. Find comparables. And yeah, $889,000. So you know what? It's quite possible that 950 is a fair price. Let's go ahead and offer $910,000. Let's offer $910,000. Of course, guys, more studies need to be made. This is just for class purposes, but you're gonna do your due diligence. All right, so 910,000, a 4 unit. 51,000 is our income. Now, what is our expenses on this property? Beginning with taxes. All right, so if I click on property tax, last year's taxes on this property were almost $12,000, $11,911. So we're gonna open up our calculator and we're gonna start adding properties. So 12K plus, right? So 12K plus insurance on a property like this will probably be another, say, $7,000. No, 6,000. Let's just go with 6,000. All right, so now we're at 18,000. All right, and then utilities. I would have to imagine that rent is included. Sorry, electricity is included in a property like this. All right, if it were a traditional fourplex with 4 doors, 4 addresses, 4 electrical meters, then probably utilities are not going to be included. But in a property like this, where it seems it's been chopped up a little bit, right? Then you're not going to there's not going to be 4 electrical meters. All right. So we're gonna pay for electricity, we're gonna pay for water, we're gonna pay for everything. You see here, rent includes electric and water. So I'm gonna say that rent or electric and water for this property is somewhere combined around 600 a month. 600 a month times 12 is $7,200. So 18,000, right, which was taxes and insurance, plus 7,200. Now we're looking at a total expense of $25,200. All right, $25,200. Now, guys, there are other expenses like lawn maintenance, right? Landscaping, pest control, things of that nature. There's also reserves. You may want to save for reserves, right? Let's just run the numbers like this. All right, we're going to leave our annual growth rate at 3%. We're going to purchase this property October 1st. We are going to give 25% down and finance 75%, and our interest rate is going to be 7%. All right. So loan to value means the amount that you are going to finance, which is 75%. That means the investor needs to put down 25%. And then the interest rate is going to be 7. I know that the interest rates are right around 6 right now, but this is for investment purposes, so it may be a little higher. Hit submit. Take a look at the numbers, guys. It doesn't make sense. Now, a mistake happens. You see this here? Negative $8 million or no, that's a mistake. So that happens sometimes, all right? So we're gonna go back over here to file, and we're gonna hit new file, and we're gonna fix this. All right, we're gonna fix this. Long-term holds. Just gonna call this test 1, right? And then this is a home that's 1,400 square feet. Purchase price, we said it's gonna be $910,000. Full year holding costs, we said it's gonna be somewhere around $25,000. Oh, sorry, we're doing flip, long-term hold. All right, so there you go. Operating expenses. So now this year's gonna be 3%. All right, gross revenue, we said it's $51,000. Year one. October 1st is our purchase date. And we're gonna hold it for 10 years. We're gonna finance 75% at a 7% interest rate. So I'm gonna check my numbers again, make sure we don't get any mistakes done here. All right, so we named our property, we named our scenario, we put a square footage, we put a purchase price, we put a gross revenue, effective year one, we put our gross expenses, annual growth rate, and then when are we purchasing, how long are we gonna keep the property, 10 years, and then our down payment and finance percentage, and then our interest rate. All right. Is there anything missing? Yes, a property type. All right, so this is a multifamily. Ready? We're gonna go ahead and click on submit, and let's hope for no mistakes now. Number of units. Number of units. I forgot to put that. 4 units. All right. Submit. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and just click on levered analysis and see what's going on here. All right. So something's going on here. I'm not really liking what I see here. There's a mistake again. Purchase and sale. All right, we're leading to mistakes here, and let me try and do something real quick here. Let me go back over here. Let's click on evaluate, and let's click on continue. I'm gonna try and do this again. Yeah. Let's go to the previous property. Let's go to this property here, not that one, this one, where it was 4,000 a month. Let's see if RPR right now is having a little bit of difficulty. Evaluate. Let's click on the RPR link. Let's click on evaluate. So this is me real time dealing with issues that you may deal with. All right, so I'm gonna try and troubleshoot what was going on with the other property. So here we have a multifamily. All right, we're gonna say purchase price 630. Let's say that we offer 630 and we get it accepted. Number of units, there's 2 units here. $2,000 a month per unit, 4,000, 4 times 12 is 48. So 48,000 is our income. Let's put in gross expenses. Let's just put a number here. All right, let's just put 18,000 for taxes, insurance, and utilities and whatnot. So $18,000. Okay. Now, real quick here. Does rent also include anything? So no, it doesn't. So I think 18,000 is a little too high, especially when taxes were 9,500. So let's go back here and let's bring this down to about 15,000. Okay, 3%, purchasing it on October 1st. And let's do 75% financing at a 7% interest rate. Okay, let's click on submit and let's cross our fingers that we have numbers, and we do. All right, so we have positive numbers here. All right, guys, so unfortunately that other property we were working at, we did it twice. It resulted in some type of error, some type of mistake. You may have to repeat it again, and the reason why I kind of diverted to another property is because we're in a class, we're in a training, and I did not want to just continue trying, right? I can obviously go back a little later and try it again. But here we have 2 values. We have an internal rate of return, and we have an average cash on cash. Unlevered means cash transaction. Levered means a financed transaction. So it is as no surprise that you get a better return on your investment if you finance than if you put all of your cash towards one property. So if you're financing, you're at an 8.4% rate of return versus a 6.8% if you pay cash. Either way, guys, this property at 630,000 with an income of 48,000 is pretty good. Now, notice on the right for the lever analysis, 3.6% returns. That means that you do not have to come out of pocket, right? You don't have to come out of pocket to make money on this deal. Sometimes to stay afloat and make money every month, the investor has to pay because the expenses were too much. Maybe the mortgage, the taxes, the utilities, maybe they were too much. Not in this case, guys. Not in this case. The taxes, the insurance, the mortgage, everything fits under the budget, and we were making money on this property. All right. I'm gonna go back to Matrix and I'm gonna open up now a larger property. So for large properties, we're gonna go to say commercial search. We're gonna go to commercial search. And we're gonna look at for sale. And we are gonna look for apartments. We're also going to look for residential multifamily. Residential multifamily. Let's stick to Miami-Dade County and let's go no more than $2 million. All right, we got 43 results. No more than $2 million, we got 43 results. These are all really nice apartment buildings, right? I mean, that's what we're looking for. So if I click on one like this here, all right, this is an apartment building here, all right, listed for 1,570,000. And just setting it for its potential, right? I mean, it has what it has right now, but they're setting it where it's zoned for an additional 23 units to be built. So it's probably the wrong property for me to choose. Let me see here. This is 1.6 and this is 12 units. So this is 1.6 million, this is 12 units. Somewhere they should tell us what the income is. If they don't tell us, then we are forced to call, right? We need to call the agent. So they're not telling us here what the income is. They're just telling us exceptional opportunity to purchase a 12-unit, two-story mixed-use family property. All right. So let's pretend. Let's play pretend. Okay. Let's pretend that these are all one unit buildings or one unit apartments. All right, 12 of them. And let's say that each goes for, I'm gonna keep it low. Let's say that each goes for 1,200 a month. Okay, 1,200 a month. 1,200 times 12, right? Because there's 12 units. All right, it's going to give you 14,400 times 12 for the months gives you 172,800. Guys, that was just me making up numbers, but this is for sale at 1.6. So if each unit rents for 1,200, then you're looking at way more than 10% gross at 172,000 annual gross income. All right. But that was just me making up numbers. Let's see if we can find something that actually tells us the numbers. This is an 8-unit. Tax amount. No attachments. Once again, we're going to have to call the listing agent. You're going to notice on a lot of commercial transactions, they tend to not give you the numbers. They just want you to call. All right. So here's again. Okay, so here's one that says gross potential income over 140 a year. If that's true at 1.6, it's a really good deal. because 140,000 is really close to 10% of 1.6. So this is going to end up being a really good deal. So learn how to basically look at the properties. This is 1.65 and see what the potential returns are before you actually analyze the property further using RPR. And this goes for everything. This goes for a duplex, this goes for a condo, anything that you're going to purchase and it has income potential. See what your yearly gross income potential is and then compare it to the purchase price. And if you're anywhere close to 10%, it is a great deal to make. Okay. Does anyone have any questions what we just went over? Of course, there's going to be a lot of time that you're going to spend researching. There's going to be a lot of time that you spend doing comps and doing numbers. Look at this one. This one, is telling you 6 units, the total of the 6 units, and this is for 1,690,000. So if I come here and I just start adding, right? I start adding here 1,800 plus 1,500 plus 1,800 plus 1,800 again, plus 1,800 again, plus 1,500. We're looking at 10,200 times 12. That's 122,400. Once again, at 1.690, that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. If I were to run the numbers with the expenses and everything, you're probably looking at a 6% return. All right, it's a great investment when you can get 6% returns on a property like this. Okay. Guys, if you have any questions, I know it's very complex what we just went over. I've been talking about this subject for over 10 years. It's a very special subject to me. I study this like crazy and I'd love to help you. So please call me, email me if you want to get together and go over this. I'd love to do that with you. So I look forward to hearing from you. This is going to conclude our training for today. And again, if you have any questions, please refer to the video, which I will post a little later today inside of our YouTube channel. For now, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
All
Bye.
right. See you later, guys. Bye.